Thank you for joining us for the Advancing Oceanside podcast, brought to you by the Oceanside Chamber of Commerce. The Advancing Oceanside podcast hosts business and community leaders from all industries to help inform, better educate, and ultimately advocate for a prosperous economic climate here in Oceanside. Today we're celebrating Oceanside's Arts with Anita, Romaine, and Elaine Weidauer. The Oceanside Cultural Arts Foundation is a nonprofit organization whose goal is to broaden the cultural, artistic, musical, and performing arts here in our community as well as the surrounding cities. They are a project-oriented company with a focus on nurturing and showcasing the rich and diverse talent here in Oceanside. Today's interview goes into all things OCAF, showing off their many projects and events in our community. Learn more about what's upcoming, including the Woman of Note event at Bliss Tea and Treats Saturday, March 27th, the Oceanside Film Festival, Ride on Oceanside, Oceanside Arts Live, and much more. Thank you so much for joining us today for another episode of the Advancing Oceanside podcast. I'll be your host today, Hannah Gilbert, and I'm so excited to have with us Anita, Romaine, and Elaine Weidauer from the Oceanside Cultural Arts Foundation. Welcome. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. I'm happy to have you guys, and I can't wait to hear more about what OCAF has to offer and hear about your guys' roles with the foundation. So, Anita, why don't we start with you? Can you just give us a little bit of a background about yourself, how you got to OCAF, and then Elaine will jump over to you so you can kind of state your background as well.
Well, I am current president of OCAF, just started in January. Elaine has been president for the past couple years. So I've been with OCAF probably on and off since 2006. Started off helping out with the Days of Art and seeing that through, and then getting involved with the music festivals and everything. It's been a wonderful way for me to volunteer my time in something I love so dearly, whether it be music or art or performing in the film festival. It's really been great. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And Elaine, tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm almost a native of Oceanside. Came at 6 weeks of age. Product of the Oceanside public school system as far as the arts are. I've been with OCAF over 30 years. I came on when Oceanside Days of Art was in the planning process, and I was one of the original chairs of the event, and then moved on to the music festival, which is my love and all the rest of it. I was a teacher for a long time, and so I have a passion for seeing that the students and their arts and their talents are represented, and OCAF is definitely a prime venue for that.
Absolutely. And I'm glad both of you guys are a part of the organization. I'm sure you've done great things. And like I said, we'll get into what you guys have done and what the organization continues to do here throughout the interview. So if you guys want to start by just giving us a little bit of a background on how OCAF came to be, we'll start with there.
Okay. I looked up some history here. OCAF was established in 1989, actually February. The mayor at the time, Larry Bagley, when he gave his State of the City address, stated that he wanted to have a state-of-the-art visual and performing arts theater and cultural arts center, and that sort of evolved and moved along. And so the first step was to create a museum. And so it was originally going to be funded through the Oceanside Arts Commission, but they were not allowed to deal with funding. So Oceanside Cultural Arts Foundation was created. And the very first thing we did was we built a world-class museum, Oceanside Museum of Art, and we supported it until it became strong enough and became its own entity and its own 501c3. And then I came on when a gentleman by the name of Dr. Keith Broman, who was the head of the music department at Miracosta College for decades, he called me, said, "Elaine, such a deal I have for you." And yeah, I was with the planning for 2 years. It took us 2 years to consolidate everybody's ideas of what Oceanside Days of Art should be. And Oceanside Days of Art, ODA, went on for, I think we held it for a little over 30 years. And it became the largest fine arts street festival in the county. And that was, we were really proud of that. That is a strong part of our history. And we just retired it a couple of years ago when, well, there were three of us running the whole thing. And it just got to be too much. And part of that is because as a result of Oceanside Days of Art, Arts Alley was established, and other organizations and other events, arts events, started blossoming and growing. And so there were more of them and therefore fewer of us to put on the events. So we retired Oceanside Days of Art. Our next step was the Oceanside Music Fest, and it began as the Gershwin Festival with Tom Morrow and the Rotary Club, and it just got to be too much for them, so they offered it to us, and we took it over. And originally, it was a 2-week festival, and then it got to be a 2-weekend festival, and then it became a moving musical feast. It pops up 3, 4, 5 times a year now. In fact, we have our first semi-post-COVID event coming up. Let's see, it's going to be this March on the 27th, Saturday the 27th, down at Bliss Tea and Treats. So we're really excited that we're going to have live music, live performers, a nice wide variety of genre, all to promote women, the month of women's rights and whatnot. Okay, so after the Music Fest was very well established, one of the side notes, would we call it, with
Yes,
music, was we created our performing and visual arts scholarships for graduating seniors for all of the North County high schools. And I'm especially proud of that we have helped dozens and dozens of students go on to expand their craft and polish their talents and do marvelous, marvelous things. And then our next event that we created was the Oceanside International Film Festival, and they had their first virtual festival this past
August.
No, the first one was in January, August, wasn't August. And so our next one will be in February. That's where I got February. Next one's going to be in February. And they draw films from all over the world and becoming a very highly respected event in the film community. And right on Oceanside was a fluke, and it has grown into a really nice literary arts festival promoting local artists, authors. And we have hopes, fingers crossed, for a live, in-person festival this coming August. So, and let's see, art walls. That was created because we wanted to make sure we represented both the visual and the performing artists after we shut down Oceanside Days of Art. And we support or promote, or I'm not quite sure what the word is, not display, one artist for 2 months. And we have a reception where we have the performance aspect. And so it's kind of a nice thing. And they're all local artists. And they have their exhibit, thank you, for 2 months as a solo exhibitor. And that's kind of a nice thing for your repertoire. And then our latest venture is Oceanside Arts Live. And when COVID really locked us down and we looked at all of our live events that we could not do, we didn't want to just sit around and do Zoom meetings once a month. We knew we needed to keep the arts really vibrant and alive in Oceanside. So we created Oceanside Arts Live, which is a YouTube channel. And we ask people to share their arts with us in a 5, 6, 7 minute video. They're all curated. And then we have cooking. We have a couple of cooking videos. We have some incredible dance videos, some music. I've done a couple on decoding Shakespeare. So a nice wide range. We have student, we have professional, we have avocational. So that's how we've been able to keep us active and to keep the arts active and alive in Oceanside during this downtime. Ta-da.
I love it. You guys have a long list of things that we're working on, and I love to see the direction that you are continuing to go. I think art is so important for so many people, and especially during the pandemic. For me, it was very therapeutic. I won't say I am an artiste by any means, but to be able to sit down and do something relaxing and therapeutic is great. So the idea to keep that alive, even when it seemed almost impossible, honestly shows your tenacity to get through all of this.
So the past is our days of art.
Mhm.
So can you see this? It's
Yes.
one of our art booths that we had.
This was held on Pierview Way, parts of Ditmar, both sides of the street. At one time, we had 120 artists, visual artists, and demonstrators, and we also had 5 performance stages going over a 2-day period.
Had all different types of art. This was in the fountain area when we used to be able to go outside. And I think this is one of our community art pieces that we did. That's years ago. Our dancing performers.
Yep.
We had ballet,
Folklorico, jazz, singers, jugglers.
belly dancers.
Belly dancers, yep.
There's one of our orchestras that came in.
North Coast Concert Band, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have certainly made sure to
And
cover. There's the belly dancer.
Yeah.
Certainly make sure to cover all aspects of art, and that's incredible. I love that.
We tried to, definitely.
We even had chalk art. And this is one of our gentlemen that came in and drew this chalk art.
Wow, that's incredible.
Just was beautiful.
Oh,
Very
some of them were
three-dimensional.
phenomenal.
Yeah, very special.
That's something I wouldn't want to, take the hose and spray off the sidewalk, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's so hard to see it disappear and have people walk on it. And we had children's arts and crafts. They got to play and do all sorts of wonderful arts themselves. And you either had a big fancy booth or an umbrella. Depends on what
you're out there.
Yeah. And we have lots and lots of belly dancers. That was fun.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
They were good.
This is our Arts Live page. We decided that because everybody was staying home and they were being creative and sharing their art, and mostly online, it was not able to do any of it live. So we decided to do a wonderful little Arts Live page. We have everything from Elaine Weidauer, our wonderful member, giving us 3 stages of how to understand Shakespeare, how to interview for a job. We've had other groups coming in and showing us their dance skills. We have Don Myers Stained Glass. He's putting up a brand new mosaic for our art walls and murals around Oceanside. We even have a couple cooking classes. I
With
got to
Miss
do that
Anita
one.
teaching us.
Yeah.
I love
So
it.
our art is there, and all you need to do is send us an email with your sample, and we will get it put together and put it online for
Yeah.
you. So it's been quite fun. We have one more.
Well, I can tell you about those young ladies.
Yeah.
They are from the BASE, which is an after-school program out by Camp Pendleton, and they were performers for our Oceanside Music Fest event, Raise Your Voices, and they were just a gem. They were delightful. They were the hit of the program. They opened us up with an international flavor. They were cool.
That's amazing.
So that's these students here.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is our wonderful music festival, and we've just enjoyed this so much. We can't wait till we can open up and go into other venues.
Yeah, I called it a musical movable feast because we've held it in the community rooms, we've held it in St. Mary's Church here, we've held it in First Christian Church of Oceanside, the Star Theater, the Sunshine Brooks Theater, all over the place. So we travel it around.
You want to say a little bit about this beautiful singer here?
Jasmine. Jasmine went on, she was a student at Maricosta College, and she has gone on. Well, I don't know what she's doing right now, but she was performing in Disneyland in Florida, and then she was a performer on a cruise ship, but I don't know where she's docked now, poor thing. But yeah, she was definitely something.
So this is Stefan, who plays at our art walls, mostly at Oceanside Bakery, and I think she's played at the Blade 1936 also.
And she will be one of the performers at Women of Note.
That's right.
Concert
on the 27th of March, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And every year, gosh, I think we probably did this about 10 years. We would get a float and decorate it up and have one of our students or someone entertain us as we were going on the 5-mile trek. This is Robert Parker, our member of OCAF and our world-renowned piano player.
Yes. And the young lady was our scholarship winner, and that's her dad. And that girl blew everybody away. The parade stopped when she started singing. I mean, she is phenomenal, and she's up at UC now doing her classes online, but she's continuing with her music. And yeah, we're going to hear a lot about her one of these days soon.
And then once a year, we try to have a fundraiser. And this was at a gentleman's and his wife's house in their front yard. And we brought in artists and had wine and cheese, and there was a tour of their house, which is a piece of art in itself.
It is. It is. It is just one massive piece of art. Yeah. Every corner, something new, and oh my goshish.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And it's located in Oceanside?
In Oceanside, yes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We were very lucky to have them.
Yes.
Art is still very, very needed in our lives. And if we've found out that not being able to go to a live performance has just really affected everybody, from students from kindergarten on up. So OCAF has been trying and hopefully succeeding to keep the arts alive in Oceanside. And the way we do that is we offer membership. This is our little program here that we have, brochure, that lets you know who we are, and we are always open to having members join our group, either as a donation or being part of our membership. We do offer some tickets to our venues, from the film festival to the music festivals, or an actual donation that helps. Now, all of our donations do go to students in high school, senior high schools scholarship to further their careers in college or a trade school, whatever they decide to go to. You want to elaborate a little bit on the scholarship, Elaine, and maybe who we've given it to, the ideas that we've given
Goodness,
it to?
I'm trying to think. We've been doing this for 9 years, 10 years, right around there. We average, well, there's no average. We've given up to $4,000 in scholarships, down to $1,000 in scholarships, depending on, what our funding has been for the year. And we've given 2 scholarships, and we've given 5 scholarships. One young man used his, and he was accepted to the Berklee School of Music for the summer program, and he wouldn't have been able to go without our scholarship. So that was really important. We've got kids that are in UCLA, USC, Northridge, a school in Utah. We have one at, well, she was at NYU. SUNY, I believe, and she was she was a writer, and she wanted to become a political writer, and I have a feeling this young lady will be. So we were really pleased that we could help her with that. We will have on our website by next week, we will have the format, incredibly simple. Just need the student to fill out basic information, need a letter of recommendation, what they have contributed not only to their school, but to the community. We don't need a why I need it. Need is not critical. We look at, although sometimes need is important, let's face it. And we will send that out to all of the local schools and the teachers in the area. And then in May, we'll make an announcement. And hopefully we will have a lot of donations come in so that we can give some really big scholarships to send these kids on their way.
Yes, and our web page is ocaf.info, OCAF.info, and you'll see the donate button at that point. Plus, you can check out our venues that we have put on Music Film Festival. There also is a one scholarship that we give during the film festival. That'll be every February. That new up and coming filmmaker, and that is actually chosen by a panel of judges on how well their film is. So besides donations, we need people too. So we've been able to actually, at our next board meeting, I am going to introduce 4 new people that have been sitting around for a year frustrated and wants to go out and give back to the community, and they've chose the art field and OCAF to do that. So we can always use someone to help out with our venues, our committees, or be serious in being a voting committee member with our board. Lots of different ways of expressing yourself, and wonderful opportunity to get your art out there and be amongst the new growth that Oceanside is going through. We are so happy that we're getting lots of new places to hopefully even hold some of our venues. So that's what OCAF is at this time. Anything else we want to add?
I think we have covered it all. It is important for us to reflect the diversity of the city. And we try to be diverse on our board and through our committee members, and I think we do that. We are definitely diverse in our scholarship recipients and in our videos. When you start watching the videos, you will see that. But it's important that we reflect all the faces of Oceanside. That is important to us. And so we encourage everyone either to contact us about joining a committee or helping with this or helping with that, or sharing their, what we're calling the heart arts, your passion with us, and by giving us a video that we can then share with the rest of the community. One of the ways that we try to support students is by encouraging them to work with us. We, in the past and currently now, we have a student liaison. This year, she's at El Camino High School. We've had liaisons at Oceanside High School, and they attend some of our meetings, and they work with us in wherever they can, and they then pass on information to the students and to the teachers in the arts. So that's really important. And we also now, as Anita said, we have students now that are doing some of our social media work and getting the word out there as well. So we want to see the younger ones come up and have an understanding of how important it is to give back to the community.
Very much. Very much.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you guys have a lot of areas for volunteer opportunities.
Absolutely.
And everything else. So I encourage everybody to get involved. Obviously, they have some sort of something that will capture anyone's attention because you guys do offer so many things. Is there anything that's next on the agenda for OCAF? Anything exciting? I know you mentioned some events, but you guys have anything else planned? I know that you'll probably pull something.
Well, there's actually 3 things that we're doing. First of all, it's Bliss Tea and Sweets on 301 Mission Avenue with our music festival. That's on a Saturday, the 27th. Right. The Oceanside International Film Festival is actually taking film submissions right now. So just go to oceansidefilm.org to see how the submissions process goes. We already have about 10 submissions for next February. So we're going to be live. Keep your fingers crossed. And be at the Brooks Theater and various venues all around Oceanside. That'll be February 22nd. So that's 2/22/22. Gotta be good, right?
Gotta be good.
And then the Right on Oceanside in August is being set up right now. Don't know if any publications is out yet. Is it out, Elaine?
No.
But that'll be about
it's
mid-August.
scheduled for mid-August. We're hoping to do it live, which will be out on the plaza. The local authors will be there with their books. You can meet them. They'll autograph your books. You can ask them questions. We're planning some kids activities, making bookmarks or their own little books. We've got several other activities. We're going to have how to get yourself published workshop. So it'll be a full day's worth of literary fun stuff.
And our social media, we're getting there. Could always use some help to get that going too. So we really appreciate Chamber of Commerce for helping us get the word out.
Yeah.
And we hope you come and enjoy the arts in Oceanside. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. And I encourage everybody to go ahead and check out their website, their social media, see how you can get involved or just share your passion with them. You can see that they are the most passionate people about arts here in Oceanside. That's why they're doing all this. So I thank you guys for joining me today and for sharing with me all of the great things you have going at Oceanside Cultural Arts Foundation. And I will talk to you soon.
All right.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Advancing Oceanside podcast, brought to you by the Oceanside Chamber of Commerce. Continue with us on our journey to help inform, better educate, and ultimately advocate for Oceanside. You can view all of our other podcasts on any podcast listening locations, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify, or visit our YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe to catch all the latest updates on all things Oceanside. Join us next week as we host another influential leader from our community.